Well, joining me now is Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace. Andrew, thanks for your time. I want to start with this peace plan. This is a bit of what Penny Wong had to say today. Have a listen.
You know, the coalition really has been out of step with the international community for such a long time. Remember, the coalition opposed a ceasefire that President Trump himself supported. Remember, the coalition has not understood the way in which the international community, that different countries of the world have come together over a year to try and work how it is that we create the conditions for the pathway to peace.
Andrew, what do you make of her assertion that the coalition is the one that's out of step with the international community on this issue?
Well, the first thing I'd say, Danica, is that, of course, the international community has been divided on this. But to hear Penny Wong trying to side up with Donald Trump and the US administration, talk about trying to jump on the bandwagon, I mean, it's just unbelievable. The Albanese government has constantly criticised, in a polite sort of way, the US administration's response to dealing with this peace plan. But, you know, it really gets up my skin, because what it does do, Penny Wong's comments really seem to just disregard the US's efforts in all of this, and allies in the Pacific as well that have supported Israel through all of this. Countries like Australia, like France, like the UK, have walked away from the only democracy in the Middle East. And now to see Penny Wong trying to crab walk, I saw the Prime Minister during the week trying to make some lily-livered argument that it was as a result of him and his unilateral recognition of Palestine that this deal was done. I mean, come on, Danica, please, get me a bucket.
Honestly, it's actually embarrassing. I mean, do they want the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't know. I just think it's actually
just embarrassing.
Yeah, no, it really, really is. Andrew, I want to ask you let's talk about the ISIS brides. Look, all we've seen all week is ducking and weaving from Labor. It's been quite breathtaking to watch, but none more than Tony Burke, who's now admitted to actually providing the first lot of returning brides and their children with passports and DNA tests, despite denials for days. Have a listen.
Under the laws governing passports, if someone is eligible for a passport and applies to one of our embassies, there is an obligation for them to be provided with it. These individuals received what they were entitled to by law, no more and no less.
Andrew, Australians deserve to feel safe, but how can we when ISIS brides are being let in and the minister in charge seems to be backflipping daily on what he knew and what he didn't?
Well, I got thrown out of question time yesterday, Danica, because I pointed out to the Prime Minister that in the last sitting week, here we had the Prime Minister repeatedly saying no assistance has been provided, and yet yesterday Tony Burke came out and said it would actually be an offence if they didn't provide assistance. Well, firstly, what would the offence be? When was the last time you ever saw a government, particularly the Australian government, charged with anything? And B, they have totally changed their story. So this is very, very serious, because what it means when you have Tony Burke coming out and contradicting what the Prime Minister had said, one of them is misleading the Parliament. Which one of them is it? Is it the Prime Minister for having said no assistance was provided? Because that's the way it's looking. On the evidence of Tony Burke, assistance was provided when the Prime Minister said it wasn't. So really, this is now an actual full-blown scandal where the Prime Minister looks like he has misled the Parliament.
And the other thing is we now know that more ISIS brides and their kids are on their way. We don't know how many. We don't know where they're going to live. We don't know what threat they pose. We still don't know about the other cohort. Why is Labor so secretive about this?
Well, because they're trying to walk both sides of the fence. They're trying to appease the left of the Labor Party, and they're trying to appease Western Sydney in bringing these ISIS brides back. But they don't want to cop the political flack for them having done so. I mean, it's never the lie, it's always the cover-up. And this government has been caught with their hands in the cookie jar, and they have a lot to answer for now. They've got a lot to answer for as to why they didn't put things like temporary exclusion orders to ensure that those ISIS brides didn't come back into the country. Why are they not putting temporary exclusion orders on the other cohorts that are due to come back? Why aren't the existing ISIS brides that are now in Australia under control orders? And if they are, well, Australians have a right to know that that is the case. We're being told nothing. No. We are being kept like mushrooms. Yeah, absolutely. And we should be told, because this is a matter of national security. In the end, these brides have gone over there on this jihadi romance, and now they want to come back into this country. Yeah. It's just an absolute disgrace. Andrew Wallace, we've got to leave it there. Good to see you as always. Thanks so much for joining me on the show.